Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this old school yellow gold Day-Date, you can see it and you can make it yours on our website, thewatchbox.com. Truth be told, this is not a terribly old school Day-Date, as it's the Day-Date 40 that bowed back in 2015. 40 millimeters, better proportioned overall than the prior 41 millimeter Day-Date 2. The Day-Date 40 in yellow gold, reference 228238, is a lovely combination of satin and polish, fluting and faceting. Although it's an old school fully yellow gold watch with a yellow gold dial, somehow the watch manages to be contemporary in its use of the material. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, it wears better than the old Day-Date 2. That's because the lugs themselves of the Day-Date 40 are a little bit narrower across, wonderfully constrained at 47.6 millimeters, and you can see that the lugs themselves are the absolute span of the watch, as the new pivoted end links on the Day-Date 40 President Bracelet do not protrude beyond the lugs. So 47.6 is the true distance across the wrist. 12.2 millimeters thick with a sloped case length, this one will slide underneath any cuff. I can recommend this watch in good conscience for wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. The spacing between the lugs is 21 millimeters, which is contemporary and broad, but I really don't think you're going to be referencing that number to acquire an aftermarket strap. This President Bracelet is just too good. Now, on the original Day-Date 2, the Big President, Generation 1, you had a platinum watch with ceramic-coated pins, designed to resist stretching, ending Rolex bracelet stretch forever, but that was only on the platinum model. For the Day-Date 40, you get the ceramic-coated pins in every bracelet, so you have them here in the President Bracelet, so it will never stretch and develop play over time. The gold cannot aggress against the ceramic, and that's what caused Rolex bracelet stretch. It was the thinning of the pins, not the stretching of the links. Polished down the center, satin shoulders, polished outer faces. It actually does a pretty good job of venting the wrist. You can see big channels on the underside. So this is a viable sports bracelet. It's more substantial than the Jubilee, but it's more comfortable than the Oyster. The crown clasp is present and correct. You can see there's actually a lift lock system with a beak and a hook internally, and that means that you can't simply pull this one open. You actually have to open by lifting the trigger. The crown clasp now features a trigger system. It's a vertical trigger that allows you to unlatch and then open. You can see fully polished internally, everything on the Rolex President and the crown clasp, beautifully made. As ever, the 5-point coronet being the only sign of the partition between the two sides. And as ever, removable links, and there are many of them, fixed by screws for easy sizing. The case band is simple and strong. The lug hoods are polished, the case band is polished, and this is not the squared off and sheer super case from the sports watches. This is a little bit more fluid. This is a bit more lush. It makes the most of its gloss polish with sophisticated compound curves that create a flame surfacing effect of light over the flank of the case. The bezel is a Rolex gold fluted profile, and you can see when these watches have never been refinished just how sharp and almost gem-like the faceting and fluting of those bezels can be. Now let's talk about the dial, because it's lovely. You have large stylized applique yellow gold Roman numerals with a watchmaker's 4. You've got a railroad track minutes and seconds outboard. You have a Sunburst gold dial, so this watch is very monotone, which creates the impression of a larger watch on the wrist. It does look a size larger than its 40 millimeters. There is a day and there is a date. There's a Cyclops eye, which actually wears better on the 40 millimeter case than it does on the 36. I feel it crowds the dial less. It's a practical measure here rather than a dominant visual feature. Now, you do have the ability to access a double quick set, so you can rapidly cycle the date as well as the day to quickly correct the watch should it run down or encounter an irregular length month. If you pull the crown out, there's also a hacking or stop seconds function. This is the Rolex twin lock crown. You can see the double dots denoting a gold twin lock crown, and underneath the case back, Rolex manufactured caliber 3255, 31 joules, automatic winding, 70-hour power reserve, 100 meters water resistant. It has a 4 hertz beat rate. It's a COSC certified Swiss chronometer, and Rolex then cases up the certified movement and times the entire watch as a consumer product fully assembled to no worse than +2 -2 seconds per day, hence the superlative chronometer designation on the dial. It has a substantive meaning. It's a free-sprung balance bridge with a full balance bridge architecture. So you've got the free sprung and you've got the full bridge, and the two features make the watch very shock resistant. You have an overcoil hairspring to help the watch earn that chronometer certification, beating concentrically in any orientation with respect to gravity on your dresser or your arm. But the overcoil is also made of an oxidized niobium zirconium blue coated alloy. That blue oxidation on niobium zirconium goes by Rolex trade name Parachrom Blue, and it's highly anti-magnetic. You can see and you can purchase this lovely and lush solid yellow gold Rolex Day-Date 40 and make it yours on the watch box.